Imagine such a versatile and lethal bomber that, with a simple improvement, it could change the balance of military power in the world. We are talking about the B-1B Lancer, the United States strategic aviation jewel, which is now at the center of a bold Boeing program to turn it into the largest hypersonic missile shipping capacity in history. This video will show how this almost retired machine is about to earn a second life, and much more dangerous. History begins with a recent U.S. Air Force decision, investing more than $50 million in the 2026 budget to install in B-1B a set of external pylons, known as LAMS. These supports will be able to carry large missiles, including the new and feared hypersonic weapons. The idea is simple and genius. Enjoy 6 fixing points that already existed in the fuselage, originally designed for nuclear weapons, and adapt them to support 21st century weapons. Boeing has been working on these pylons since at least 2023. Each can carry loads of up to 3 tons, although the final limit still depends on Air Force tests and definitions. This means that with the LAMS, the B-1B will be able to carry not only more weapons, but much larger weapons, with range and destruction power that place any target thousands of kilometers away under immediate threat. But before we understand why this update is so important, we need to go back a few decades in time. B-1 was born in the 1960s in the middle of the Cold War, when the United States sought a faster and more modern successor to the B-52. The result was the B-1A, which first flew in 1974. With a top speed higher than Mach 2 and intercontinental reach, it was considered extremely advanced for the time. The enthusiasm, however, was short-lived. In 1977, President Jimmy Carter canceled the program, claiming that intercontinental ballistic missiles and submarines launched were more efficient and cheap for nuclear dissuasion. Four prototypes were built, but it seemed that B-1's career would end there. Everything changed in the 1980s with the arrival of Ronald Reagan to the White House. Determined to strengthen U.S. military stance against the Soviet Union, Reagan resurrected the project, but with significant changes. B-1B Lancer, an optimized version to fly the low altitude and subscribed speeds, with reduced radar signature and enlarged load capacity. Although its top speed has fallen to about Mach 1.25, it has gained larger range and could carry more weapons. B-1B entered service in 1986, and in the 1990s it underwent another important transformation. It lost nuclear capacity, becoming the most powerful conventional bomber in the Air Force. For comparison, a B-52 carries up to 31.5 tons of pumps, while Lancer takes impressive 34 tons. It is operated by a crew of 4 people, 2 pilots and 2 armed systems officers, and equipped with 4 General Electric F-101 engines, capable of taking it more than 1,000 kilometers per hour, with a range of over 12,000 kilometers using air refueling. Throughout his career, B-1B has participated in conflicts in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, and Syria, often in approximate air support missions, something unusual for a strategic bomber. This versatility is precisely one of the reasons why it is still so valued and is receiving this new update. After all, with the installation of the LAMS, the potential of Lancer can reach a level that few imagined when it was created. With the new external pylons, B-1B is being prepared to transport some of the most advanced weapons ever developed. Among them is the AGM-183A, a hypersonic missile launched from aircraft, capable of reaching extremely high speeds and reaching targets at a lot of distances within minutes. This project had been canceled in 2023, but has gained priority and investment in the 2026 budget. Another highlight is HCM, acronym for Hypersonic Cruise Missile, which is being developed in partnership with Australia. Initial studies show that with LAMS, a single B-1B could carry up to 31 hypersonic missiles, combining internally and externally loaded weapons. This means that only a squad of few Lances could launch a devastating amount of missiles against strategic targets, dramatically reducing the enemy's response time and practically nullifying their defenses. But it is not just the hypersonic who enter this equation. Lancer will also be able to carry the AGM-158C, a state-of-the-art anti-navio cruise missile, range of almost 900 kilometers and high stealth. Imagine 3 B-1Bs launching 72 AGM-158C missiles against an enemy fleet, each missile approaching different angles, safe distances with minimal possibility of early detection. This scenario transforms B-1B into a threat not only to land targets, but also to naval forces of any size. And to ensure that this new capacity is fully functional, the modernization program is not limited to the physical installation of pylons. It also includes updating onboard electronic systems so that B-1B recognizes and perfectly integrates these new weapons without compromising performance, safety, or maneuverability. This is a thorough engineering work, which requires not only mechanical adaptations, but also complex reprogramming and software integration. Behind this investment is a strategic reasoning. Although the Air Force plans to replace B-1B with B-21 Raider, a new generation stealth bomber, such advanced programs are often delayed. The B-21, although promising, is still in the testing and adjustment phase, and history shows that systems of this level may face unforeseen events to scale production. Therefore, the modernization of the B-1B acts as a kind of insurance policy, ensuring that the United States maintain a bombing force that can operate with global relevance, even if the B-21 takes more than expected. In practice, this means that the B-1B, even planned for retirement, still has much to offer. With new weapons, greater versatility, and updated systems, it remains a pillar in the projection of U.S. air power, especially in a geopolitical scenario where opponents such as China and Russia also invest heavily in hypersonic technologies. The military dissuasive game is far from static, and each new capacity represents one more piece in this global board. Looking at the future of B-1B, it is impossible to ignore the impact this modernization can have on U.S. military doctrine. The concept of a strategic bomber has always been associated with massive attacks on fixed targets in planned and high-risk operations. With the introduction of hypersonic and long-range anti-Viking missiles, this function expands. B-1B is no longer just a hammer to becoming a precision scalpel capable of achieving any point on the planet quickly, surprise, and destructive power unprecedented. This flexibility is vital in a world where threats emerge and change quickly. An opponent can move a naval fleet to a conflict zone, reinforce air bases, or even reposition defense systems in a few hours. With a modernized B-1B squad, the U.S. gains the ability to react to these changes in real time, reaching mobile or reinforced targets before they become a larger problem. Another crucial point is Lancer's ability to permanence. His autonomy, combined with flying replenishment, allows him to patrol large areas for long periods, awaiting the right time to act. This, added to the expanded arsenal, creates a constant and threatening presence, which in itself is already a dissuasive factor for any opponent. After all, knowing that a bomber capable of launching dozens of hypersonic missiles may be a few minutes away completely changes the strategic calculation of any nation. It is also important to remember that modernization not only transforms the offensive capacity of B-1B, but strengthens its integration with other forces. It can act in a coordinated manner with stealing fighters, recognition drones, and satellites, receiving real-time target data. This synergy creates a combat environment in which surprise and speed make any enemy reaction almost impossible. Whether in the Pacific, the Atlantic, or any other theater of operations, the new modernized B-1B will represent a leap in the projection of global power of the United States. Its ability to combine massive load, surgical accuracy, and arms versatility makes it a strategic asset that no other country has so far can match. And while Lancer's retirement is in long-term plans, this update ensures that it will remain relevant and feared for many years. Until the B-21 Raider fully assumes the post, BBB will continue to fly as a symbol of engineering, strength, and adaptability of American military aviation. When Boeing and Air Force put these new pylons in operation, we will not only be seeing the update of an airplane, we will be witnessing the rewritten of an entire chapter of modern military history. A chapter where speed, accuracy, and fire ability define who dictates the rules of the game in heaven and the sea. And in the current scenario, with growing geopolitical tensions and the race for hypersonic weapons intensifying, it is clear B-1B Lancer is not ready for retirement. On the contrary, he is about to become more lethal than ever. And when this moment comes, the world will realize that some legends of war never disappear. They just evolve.